Well, they say it's not a series until you lose at home. Neither of these teams have done that yet. Orangeville hoping the trend continues so they can extend their season as well as their Midtoe Cup reign as they are the 2019 champions. For the Whitby Warriors, trying to get back to the dance for the first time since 2013 and can do it with a win here tonight. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville as we present, along with the JVI Sports Network, game number 4 of this Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinal series, and it has been a dandy. A lot of people saying it's old school lacrosse from these two old school rivals.
Yeah, for people who haven't been following along, some pretty good fireworks at the end of the last game. A bit of a, call it a line brawl, some physical play at the end of the game, a little bit of extracurriculars. I would say maybe don't expect to see a ton of that off the hop. This isn't an elimination game. There's a lot on the line here. Whitby knows they're playing for a chance to go to the dance, and Orangeville knows they're playing for their lives, for a chance to play one more game. So expect a tight affair. Expect the refs to come out and set a good tone here early as well.
Those referees who could be busy tonight are Josh Hiltz, Jeremy Bailey, and Brent Colombe, 3 of the more veteran officials here in the OLA.
If you're Orangeville, the story has been basically since the start of the Oakville series, who's going to score, right? They've had enough scoring at times, especially against Oakville, and obviously won game 2 here, but someone's got to step up and score. It's probably a race to 10 tonight, or closer to a race to 10 than a race to 8.
Speaking of a race, here comes Adam Poitras, and he'll break the ice for Whitby in transition.
Yeah, sloppy sub here by Orangeville. Probably want their offensive guys to go back and play defense here instead of heading to the box and pick the wrong guy, wrong time to do it with. Poitras playing a shift of defense. Just watching this Whitby team play more, Poitras just does so many things well. It seems like every time he's around the ball, he's influencing it well and just does a lot of things well and just rips a nice one short side to get his team going.
So the face-off here will get you to lineup changes. Liam Perro and Liam Stadnick, we saw them both limp off after that game, so that means that Keaton Brown and Cam Sanderson return to the Orangeville lineup, as well as Trevor Wilson will back up Zach Richards, the only one who picked up supplementary discipline after game number 3 from either side. Whitby also get their head coach back tonight, Sean Williams, who was on assignment in Las Vegas. And coming out after a bad giveaway and an early goal, it's shutdown defense from the Orangeville Northmen, and they get a shot clock violation.
One thing Whitby does better than anybody else I've seen this summer is they get to the middle of the floor really well. They do a good job attacking from the top, setting picks, and getting their guys coming over to the middle of the floor. I think that's a big key for Orangeville is how can we get Whitby down the side and stop the ball in the middle of the floor and stop the ball from changing sides of the floor.
Well, good look there from Jamison Bucktooth, the first overall pick, but shot ended up going wide, and minute and a half into this first period, 1-0 here for Whitby early on, and we got a good battle between chat room participants as well. Kind of split down the middle so far, Orangeville and Whitby. Budway will pick this up. Trying to bounce a pass over to the far side for Soroketti. Look out, climbing the ladder there and nearly into the Oakville bench was trying to catch the number there. I believe Michael White, perhaps.
Yeah, glad to see White's okay there. I think that was obviously an accident on the Orangeville bench. Those can get dangerous sometimes, though, so good to see White bounce right back up.
No Owen Tapper tonight. No Ryan Olin either, who we understand got pretty banged up in his scrap. So we wish him all the best. As now Whitby sets up under 5 in their shot clock. It comes to Riley Knox. His shot forces Chris Origlieri. Origlieri got the reason Zach Richards is out of the game is because he came on in relief of Origlieri in the second period of that game on Monday night. Trey Deere and Jeremy Searle worked the pick and roll, but then the defense soaking that shot right off the back of Kobe Hanser.
Couple good looks here so far by Orangeville, but Whitby doing a nice job of competing through the end of possession and getting in shooting lanes.
Trey Deere will draw a penalty, 3 men on him after the quick restart. Deere Of course, dropped the gloves early on with White in that game on Monday night, game number 3. Stay tuned and we'll have highlights for you in the first period as our first power play of the game goes to Orangeville.
Sloppy play here by Whitby on the clear leads to basically an unforced error and turnover. Nice play by Deere to pick it up and keep going.
Carter's shot headed off for the hold, and chance now for the Northmen. They'll start with Jeremy Searle up top. Cam Sanderson in the corner drew a lot of attention here in game number 2. Looking to pass in front for Liam Matthews, and that one bounces away. Orangeville gets the award for most Liams on a team, I think. We already talked about Pero, Stadnik. They've also got McGraw and Matthews. And tonight going up against Liam Wright, opposing them in the Whitby net. Peyton Wallace holding on to the ball right at center. Long shot. Bounced in on a Riglieri, and Parker Pfeiffer nearly had a pickup. Colm Barnett had a bit of trouble with it coming across center. Back half of this power play now for the Northmen. Trey Deere will find Searle off the bench. They'll set up again with Colton Marquis, and now Matthews. He'll take top spot, getting the pass from Marquis. Working way backwards, and Colton Marquis simply does not miss.
Yeah, you mentioned it, partner, but we've seen Marquis score a number of goals now in the playoffs. By my count, that's his 12th goal of the playoffs in his 8th game. And a lot of them have looked pretty much like this. Just a great shooter from that money spot. And it's hard to tell if that went 5-hole or short side from our angle, but if it was short side, that's the spot he likes to go, and if he's so good at it, so why not?
Whitby will drag this face-off out of the corner, and they'll get the 30-second count.
Expect that to be a message, too, on the Whitby bench. An Orangeville team that's been struggling to score. An Orangeville team that's been struggling to score throughout the playoffs. 1 penalty, 1 goal. Say, hey, make them play 5-on-5. Let our defense do their thing. No opportunities for easy offense.
At one point had a 4-for-4 power play working out in Whitby the other night. So when they've got their power play chances, they've made them count. Here's Brock Haley cutting in front of the crease, coming off a 6-goal performance. However, only 3 points in game number 2 in this barn.
Yeah, what a move, though, by Haley. Just gets his defender, flipping his hips and cuts it right back to the middle.
Cross for Trey Deere now. Deere got tripped up as him and Carter's shot got tangled. Under 10 on the shot clock. Matthews wheeling over the top, takes one off of right. And now picked up and nearly over center. Jake Doolittle will stop the 8 count. Greg O'Connor also back in the lineup for Whitby tonight. The general manager of the team. Understand he was in protocol during game number 3, watched at home. So Whitby happy to have him back in-house tonight. He watches as Soroketti just misses that shot. Quatras fell, and then a backhander from Pfeiffer.
Yeah, more good offense though by Whitby. Soroketti was pretty much wide open there, and I think they kind of left one on the table. They got to connect those, but good offense by Whitby.
Searle lost his stick in the corner. Marquis has it again. Has a shooting lane in that one. High off the end glass.
I think Searle got away with the moving pick, and Peyton Wallace got away with taking his stick out of his hand. So a little no harm, no foul, but it looked like Searle might have been wide open on the goal there. Just didn't have a stick.
Jack Budway will back off top spot. That's where Pfeiffer is now. Soroketti dropped it momentarily and then faces a double team in behind the net, and the ball pops free. It'll be Aiden Long that gets there first. However, ball still rolling around late in this shot clock. Looks like Orangeville are just going to, you hear the black call. That's not cheering on the boys in black. That's
typically
muck the shot clock.
It's just leave the ball on the ground, right? If you pick the ball up and then turn it over quick, you run the risk of giving the other team a fresh shot clock. Just leave the ball on the ground.
One of the few teams with an actual walkout is the Orangeville Northmen. All the music stops after warm-up, and then as soon as Back in Black plays, this place goes absolutely nuts. Here's Tradier, lost the stick. That's not his stick, sorry. That's Lucas Littlejohn, had it knocked out of his hands by the shot. Littlejohn scored twice out in Whitby, and they were plays just like this. This time he'll go off to Michael Anderson. And Littlejohn has it back. Littlejohn on the crease for Anderson. Off the crossbar, one of 4 players without a point for Whitby in that game, number 3. Haley from up top shoots wide, and this goes down the floor. Whitby need to, I was going to say hurry up as Colm Barnett was chasing down that loose ball, but they do get 5 defensive legs out there. I guess 5 pairs of defensive legs. Tradier will pass back for Searle. Had room to shoot. Takes it to the crease. And Cody Coulson scores.
Cody Coulson says that's his 4th goal of the playoffs. Seems like he saves them for elimination games, though. For a guy who hasn't scored that many goals, he scored some really big ones. And just good offense here. I wasn't sure that Searle was going to see this pass. The viewer was going to have a good angle at it. It looks like he was going to shoot, see it at the last second. And a nice job by Coulson. We've mentioned this a number of times on the broadcast, but takes a big step towards the middle of the floor. Just opens up a lot of space for him, ends up reaching it around the goaltender. It's a classic finish, but it works. And so nice job by Coulson, realizing he had time, getting back to the middle, and a good look by Searle.
Jeremy Searle assists on both early Orangeville goals. Then Nate Ruff runs into his face-off man. Ruff to the crease. And up and out of play. You're right, a lot of these offensive players for Orangeville do like to shoot when they get that ball, and I think everybody kind of froze there expecting it to come from Searle, and great vision to find Coulson through the lane. Here's Whitby with Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer passed through the middle, and all tied up there was Adam Poitras, who now goes after the ball carrier. Trying to get the stick check. Haley down floor.
You got numbers going the other way here.
The back. You said it, numbers the other way. Pfeiffer got stood up at center, though. That'll even it up as Soroketti to Budway, to the trailing Pfeiffer, and Iriglieri with the right arm makes the save.
Nicely executed transition play there by Whitby. That goes all the way back to Poitras with a nice check. Haley with a slick loose ball and behind the back shot. Offensive players doing the little things to get Whitby out and get good possession, and now get a power play off it as well.
Extra attacker is on here for Whitby as the shot comes from Poitras. Poitras again with Iriglieri down. Where's the ball? In the stick of Donnie Scott, and we will get the Orangeville penalty, their first of the game.
We'll see the penalty here, I think, in a sec, but just quickly, Iriglieri, you mentioned it getting pulled last game. He's been one of the best goalies, if not probably the best goalie on the circuit for the last month or 2 months, and definitely in the playoffs. And then a quick goal by Whitby to start the game. I think that last sequence there, 2 saves in a row, is a good sign that he's settled in and he's ready to go here. Good sign for Orangeville after that quick one to start the game rather.
The sequence in the last minute or so of game 2 in this building was incredible stuff from the Orangeville goaltender. Again, we'll have those highlights for you in the first intermission, and highlights of game 3 coming up after period number 2. Here's Haley, a couple fakes before shooting high off the end glass. And now a couple Orangeville players. I got it, you take it. Liam McGraw, his shot on the run. Save made there by Wright. As we approach the halfway mark of this first period, which is flown by, very quick pace, pretty much all the way through this series.
Yeah, you like the aggressiveness there from McGrath. That's probably one you want to take down and kill some of the shot clock here, especially with a good power play.
Minor players along the boards there trying to get themselves on camera. Not going to work just yet as we're focused on the big boys with Pfeiffer and now Haley. down in the corner. It works it back through Poitras. Haley, no shot, goes to Poitras. Backdoor Budway had it wide open and does not miss.
Yeah, this is a motion we've seen, Maddie, we've talked about it a few times now. This is a motion we see a lot. So you'll see Haley start to back up here. Parker Pfeiffer will come in, set a nice pick, or he'll actually go through. So, yeah, and then he'll come back to Haley, come around to Poitras, and a nice one more. You know, Whitby is an interesting counterexample to Orangeville on the power play because Orangeville likes to roll a lot of different looks out there. They have different guys who will play the top, and they like a lot of set pieces. Whitby, you know who's coming, right? You know it's Haley, you know it's Pfeiffer, and you know it's Poitras, and you got to stop them. And if you overplay the shot, a nice look by Poitras, but kind of a different philosophy for these two teams on the power play.
Here's Little Johns, tried to spin off a check and lost the ball in the process. Brought up now by Cohen Jennings. Cross center, close to that center line. Imaginary center line it is here in the Bunny Barn.
Yeah, you can hear the sticks on the boards, but nice tough play there by Jennings. Get a tough possession for his team.
Liam Matthews, another delayed penalty coming as Matthews takes it down to the crease. Wide open shot for Sanderson, but the ball never got there. Sanderson taken outside into the boards, and there will be no shot for Millsap or for Cohen Jennings. And Willie does not like the call from Jeremy Bailey. It's a high stick against Kobe Hanser.
So we'll see the second opportunity here on the power play. A good indicator for Orangeville is where's Jeremy Searle on the power play. He's at the shooter spot on this one. Look for probably something with Matthews backing up and Searle setting the pick on his guy.
Well, Matthews does back up. Searle sets the pick. Matthews gets it again, and it'll be Marquis one more time. Okay, Jonathan, I see you.
Not altogether different than their first power play, right? They don't get this goal out of the set play. They run a little set piece here. They're actually trying to run the same play Whitby just ran. They don't get anything. And then that's just way too far back. That's by Whitby there. That's number 2, McDonnell. He's got to get out and play the ball. If your heels are on the dotted line, that's probably not far enough, and he wasn't even there. Marquis can shoot the lights out. You got to get up and you got to play it.
Liam McGraw. Real spread floor there off that face-off as Whitby had 2 players down in the offensive zone. Now a long pass up for Haley. They have a streaker back through, and Bucktooth got the stick up in the middle. Bucktooth sat out game number 2. Back in there for 3 and 4 tonight. Poitras falling in front of Origlieri. Nearly an outlet pass for Colton Marquis, but look out, giveaway Poitras again, this time off the glove it looked like of Origlieri. Fresh 30 for Parker Pfeiffer. Backing up the shot from Poitras. Also goes off the end boards. Brock Haley got picked out of the way, and now Cohen Jennings will run down the near side but will not get to center. This is all on the Northman clock. He lost his stick as well. And now Haley trying to pick it up, wants the quick restart. Excuse me, that's Pfeiffer. And the officials are going to pull him back to the restraining line in a mad scramble over on the near boards.
Yeah, this is playoff lacrosse, man. These guys are absolutely leaving everything on the floor. Physicality has really picked up. Refs, for the most part, are kind of letting them play here.
Here's Haley from the outside. Hard pass intended for Knox. Rolls into the corner. Elijah Edwards goes with the player, and little extra chop after the fact, but Jeremy Bailey quick to step in.
Yeah, we're seeing extra chops after the whistle basically every time here as an offensive player. Pretty simple. You just got to suck it up. You got to take them. It's worth it if you win, and that's what's on the line here.
Shot from Haley, and Origlieri makes that save. Big power slide there from Aiden Long. And that internal clock was ticking on the 8 count, and he rushed it a little bit up at center, allowing Brock Haley to get the turnover.
Whitby's got some substitutions so far, or Orangeville has rather, on these turnovers, but it's been basically 2 or 3 minutes here straight of offense. Whitby really started showing their athleticism on the ride.
One of those is Trey Deere, who's just simply holding Haley right against the outside boards. And now finally a pick up top to spring Haley, but as that was happening, the ball was bouncing free on the far side. Now Deere is headed down floor. Deere caught right out of position, but may have gone a bit too far, running himself out of a good shooting lane.
I don't know how Trey Deere is not exhausted. He was out there for pretty much that whole defensive shift, gets up the floor and almost gets one to go on the other side.
Well, he got half the game off in game number 3.
True, fair enough. It's always a little easier to find some energy if you're alone on the goalie on a breakaway.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Yeah.
Everybody in the league's got extra gas for that. It's the back checking gets a little harder, but give him credit. He hung in there on defense, did a great job on that end of the floor too.
Poitras will break a double team, and now Nate Ruff all over him. The Whitby fans on our side wanted a penalty, but aren't going to get one. Jamison Bucktooth looks off the pass, takes it to the corner. Now around the screen from Searle. Trey Deere comes back onto the floor now off the bench, as does Cam Sanderson. Marquis winds and fires. And that one on target as we're on hat trick watch for number 24.
Good read there by Riglieri. That was essentially the same spot and the same shot from Poitras as that first goal. Coming down a little bit further to this side than the middle of the floor and trying to pick that far side.
Bucktooth all the way up top for Colton Marquis now. Marquis outside to Millsap. Millsap and Matthews. Pick there from Bucktooth, and shot comes in from Matthews, and Liam Wright will sit on top of it. Goaltending was a question mark through the first little bit of the playoffs here for Whitby, if there was a question mark, and kind of back and forth. Caleb Martin, Liam Wright, take your pick night tonight, as they were both kind of in and out of the lineup, but Liam Wright looks like he's won the job here after a couple of pretty solid games. Yeah,
Wright's made a couple big saves here in the last 2 or 3 minutes, too, to keep this a one-goal game. Some shots that didn't look super dangerous, but he was up to the challenge, and if one of those goes in, it's a different game.
Sanderson can't bring down the pass from Liam McGraw. McGraw may have had an open shooting lane. He takes it now, and it just skips wide of the net. Has to hurry up, as that would have been an over and back. And McGraw does cut the angle down, but deep in the shot clock, looks like McGraw. Three and a half to go here in the first period. 3-2 from the outside, Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer from the outside, got around a screen as Aiden Long went down, and he'll get an outlet pass here from Elijah Edwards and pick the corner.
Yeah, you know, a bit of an unforced error here by Whitby. That's a moving pick. All day, every box league in the world, that's a moving pick. A tough bounce by their player falling down too, and then credit to Long, playing right through the possession. He gets greased from behind, doesn't kick, gets up, gets right down the floor, takes his room across the middle of the crease, and buries it to the far pipe. If you're Whitby here, I think the message offensively is we got to get back to our game. They've had some good looks in transition, but I think they've gotten a little bit away from themselves as well. A lot of one-pass possessions, two-pass possessions. Their strength is when they get the ball moving east-west, side to side, Haley to Poitras. I think that'll probably be Coach Williams' message. Let's get the ball moving across the floor. Let's get the passes going. They have probably the most skilled offense that we've seen this year. Let's start using everybody, get the ball moving, and get some good looks here.
It really does remind me, 2012, 2013, the last time Whitby was in the Minto Cup. They hosted in 2012. They had back then Riley O'Connor, Austin Shanks, Curtis Knight was the other one. And, you know, the three-headed monster.
Ryan Keenan.
Yeah.
Dan Littner was in on those teams. Mark Cochran. So many great players were on those teams.
And that was just after Mark Matthews had graduated out. So
yeah.
when you think three-headed monster offenses, you always end up thinking about Whitby. There's a shot right in on the crease. And Poitras is so close to dialing that in here tonight as he's got a ton of chances.
Yeah, I played against Poitras this year in college against Loyola, and he scored that exact move twice on us. So good at just doing a little hesitation move around the goal line, getting underneath his defender and getting across the goal.
Here's Little John down floor. Now for Jake Darlison. Darlison, that one bounces off a body, and Origlieri tried to catch it clean.
It's a good example by Whitby, just a little frantic, right? Just a little outside of what they normally do. They got a great offense, just get them the ball, let them work. I think that's the message.
And Bucktooth with it the whole way, passes up for Millsap. Matthews on the crease to Bucktooth. Shot into the feet of Wright, and the rebound over to the near boards. We near the 2-minute warning where both teams will have 2 timeouts they can use at any point during the game, 1 per period. Budway over the top. He'll leave it here for Haley. I was asked today, Teddy Jenner had me on off the crossbar along with Pat Gregoire, and he said, how does Brock Haley score 74 goals in a season? I said, I couldn't tell you, and neither could a whole bunch of OJLL teams, but fun to watch for sure. That one nearly bounced into the stick of Ben McDonnell. Back for Matthews, far side, Marquis. I know those 2 boys are watching, so hello to Teddy and to Patty. Trey Deer over the top. Sidearm shot, he'll score.
Really nice play here by Deer, taking a page out of Whitby's book a little bit. Makes a nice loose ball play and then just gets right over top to the middle of the floor. And this is basically just a one-on-one. His guy falls, he takes on another guy, buries a shot. We have a goaltending change here for the Warriors.
Well, just as we were talking about the fact that it looked like that issue was over for the Warriors, Liam Wright allows 5 here in 18 and a half minutes. Face-off win and back the other way. How about a pair now for Poitras off the face-off in transition.
Yeah, this is really Jack Oldman making the play here, and you called it a few minutes ago. Great call by you. Whitby's clearly playing these like they know that they're going to have the advantage and they want to score. Orangeville misplays this. 16 for Orangeville. That's Nate Ruff. He's there. He's supposed to take the face-off guy. He gets beat. A nice play by Oldman to flick it over to Poitras, and a nice play. It looks like he buried it short side. Again, Poitras has been all around the goal here early, and that's his second already.
Running in Elijah Edwards may have caught Martin off balance, and Oldman nearly got pushed back into the crease. I believe this is his face-off twig, that bright yellow helmet. How about Little John batting it down the floor, but away from Haley. That one bounces over the short glass they have here at Tony Rose Arena.
That's a big goal for Whitby, too. Good scorers to 5-2. You know, it rattles your team a little bit when you have to change goalies. And that's a big one for them to stop that little mini run from Orangeville.
Millsap goes through nearly the entire defensive line. Stoppage of play here. Did we lose a couple seconds off the clock?
So this actually works out for Whitby because they can get their offensive guys on. I think they're going to put 45-ish seconds back on. So look for Whitby to try to shoot it right away and go 2 for 1. Yeah, 44.2 seconds left. But Whitby's already got their guys down there, and they got time to talk about it. So almost guaranteed they'll shoot this immediately.
Never doubt Rachel Wolf when she's working the score clock. If the time's not right in the box, hers is usually correct. Outside for Poitras. He's on hat-trick watch. Here's Haley. Brock Haley bouncing around from the outside. Now to Soroketti. Sorchetti over the top. Haley again, and Origlieri went down to meet that shot. Whitby was calling timeout as soon as that one went up out of play with 22.5 to go here in the first.
So that's why Sean Williams is way, way smarter than me, because he says, all right, let's play out the possession. We'll give it to our guy Brock. We'll get us a reset anyways. And we don't even have to go 2 for 1. We'll just go 2 for 0 and keep the ball. So 22 seconds left now. Whitby will take it down to one shot. That worked out as well as it could have, basically, for Whitby, other than actually scoring the goal.
Forgot to ask if he FaceTimed in the team in middle of game 2 there, because they came out shot out of a cannon to start the second period in this building back on, I believe it was Monday night. What's today, Wednesday?
It's been hard to hear what he's been yelling at his team on the floor, but just by tone of voice, you can tell that he's not happy with his group right now. And probably be a strong message sent at the intermission, but if you're Whitby, probably not how you want this period to go. But after that goal by Poitras, a chance to bring it within 1 goal, that's as good as you can ask for here. This is a big possession for both teams.
Here's Haley. Budway in the corner. Up top is Pfeiffer. He's got the ball now. Poitras on the far side. Sorchetti in the corner.
Orangeville just taking away Haley. So this is a 5-on-4 instead of a 6-on-5.
Pfeiffer playing catch with Poitras. Down to the crease, Budway. Now the shot comes from Poitras. It goes high. Tristan Dempers is the last man out there as well. And the rebound picked up by Colm Barnett. He got spun around, but it comes at the horn of a 5-3 first period for the Orangeville Northmen.
Yeah, that was actually a good look. It looked like Whitby was ready for that to become a 5-on-4. So they run a nice play, get a pretty good look for Poitras, just puts it over the net. But it's 5-3, like you said, going into 2. And expect Whitby, again, to come out here with some juice after a period that really wasn't probably how they wanted it to go.
Well, as we said, this is game number 4. We're going to show you how we got here over the past couple games, including highlights from game number 2, the last time we were here at Tony Rose Arena. This is the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinal series presented by the JVI Sports Network.
Hey guys, this is Paul Dawson from the Rochester Nighthawks.
And this is Dan Lomas of the New York Riptide. We've come together to create Back of the Bird, sports stories from the best spot they're told, the back of the plane. We're sitting down with NLLers across the league to chat about Junior A, Senior A, NLL, MLL, everything that goes along with it, on the floor, off the floor, and it's presented by Cottage Springs. So give us a listen wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, and I swear you'll love it.
Like and subscribe.
Peace. Swipe up.
Couple series could end in BC as how about first blood here for Colton Marquis and the Orangeville Northmen. Here's Deere. Bit of a give and go with Deere going to the crease. And they'll call it a goal. I want to see a second look here because he looked tight to the paint. But for now, it's 3-0.
Trey Deere getting his second of the game. Want to talk about big moment players? Well, this is it right here. A great backdoor cut, gets the ball there. And that was, I think he's clear there, Matt. And that's going to be obviously a good goal. A great start for the Northmen. This is the Northmen's bread and butter in the second period.
Dive through the crease and Origlieri over top of the goal scorer here. We got some swinging in behind. Whitby comes out firing. 6-2. However, his Warriors still trail as that shot. Hard save made by Riglieri. Rebound, though. Put in behind by Jake Darlison. Orangeville throw it away, and man, momentum shifting in a big way. Here's Soroketti, who picks the corner. 3 goals in 58 seconds to open the second period. Here comes Poitras again. We'll give off to Haley this time in the shot. Origlieri, first save. It sneaks in. Roger Nurse says no. As there's a big takedown far side right in front of Whitby's bench now. Gonna get a look at the replay as they pick up the pieces. Adam Poitras was on top of Owen Rand. Here's the goal. Let's see, do they step in the crease before it crosses? Early chance there for Orangeville was turned aside here on their power play. Liam Matthews back for Marquis. He finds Trey Deer far side, and Orangeville back in the goal scoring sheet. Coulson recovers deep in his own zone. 8-second count is on, about halfway through before it's taken up and over center, but now the strip, and Whitby's got numbers. Out the front door, Haley wide of the mark, return shot. Darlison has 2 chances and they both go wide. Sanderson, speaking of players taking hits after missing some time. Sanderson working through the middle, guts. 2 big shots as Searle, his shot hits off right, and now Orangeville have time to wait this one out as Sanderson got all kinds of work over, and now he gets shoved down, and this could be an issue. The officials do a great job of jumping in here. Is Cam Sanderson's return to this series has sparked some fireworks. Everybody got offsetting roughing penalties, the 3 players for each side that were involved. As down the floor the other way, we could have ourselves a penalty shot here. The goal's in! Pfeiffer to Poitras to Haley. Poitras gets inside the fan, and we got a 1-goal game! Haley for Poitras. They play catch with it here. There's the screen. Now Poitras gets it back. Haley to Soroketti in the far corner. Pfeiffer behind the back. What a save! Origlieri down and out somehow. Kept it out as we're going to get a penalty here to Orangeville. But my goodness, the horn is gone. And I think we've got a final in an even series. Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week are brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario and their hashtag Milk Up campaign. For more information, including recipes, visit new.milk.org. As we return you inside Tony Rose Arena, already out on the floor are the Orangeville Northmen. Matthew Carrick and Jonathan Donville here with you. Jonathan fresh off a weekend of PLL lacrosse. Scoring a goal, looking good with Lyle Thompson.
Yeah, thank you. It's a lot of fun, but great to be back home and watching all this great box lacrosse too. You know, while we got a second, Maddie, one of my favorite, secondary topics we've discussed is uniforms because it's never contentious and everybody across the province agrees.
100%.
But it's my first time seeing this Whitby road set. They are awesome. The red pops. So
yep.
Credit to Whitby. This. Like I said, very non-traditional how they've changed their uniform set a few times over the course of the year, even since I've been in junior. But this red set is a winner, so that's awesome.
Is this your first time seeing the ref unis too?
No, we had them last
okay.
game. Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Hey, we'll
when
give them their shine, though. The ref unis are nice too. Yeah.
As we were talking off camera, every day is the same. I kind of know what game number we're at, but.
And if
days of the week don't exist anymore.
If Brad Hutchcraft is listening to this, I'm not saying the Whitby uniforms are nicer than Mimico's. That's not what I'm saying. Just I like them.
You could hear the text coming, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Second period underway here. 5-3 Orangeville after the first. And they'll corral this loose ball and head it back down floor. Caleb Martin does remain in the net. Down to our left for Whitby, came on in relief of Liam Wright in the first period, and should be no surprise to anybody that Chris Origlieri is still down to our right. Colton Marquis spins off pressure. Marquis shoots past the defender. No shot is a bad shot when it comes off the stick of Colton Marquis.
I also looked from our angle like the only open space was far side, and he still kept it back. So he knows what he wants, and he's going to keep going for it.
Sorchetti, long shot, gets in on Origlieri. Makes the save and passes to Elijah Edwards.
Haley's had some good looks, though. You get the sense that it's kind of just starting to dial it in. And Origlieri's been up to the task so far, but shooting around the screen from pretty much the dotted line is a good look for Haley. That's how he scored so many goals this year.
I will say the other night his 6 goals were a bit of a quiet 6. Look out here, though. Clean interception, and running the floor is Ben Cromer. Again, one of 4 players without a point in the game the other night. Actually, I think Cromer did have an assist. As turning and firing is Trey Deere, forcing Martin into a save, excuse me.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone who coached against Whitby and Haley this year the other day, and they said, he was quiet, or we thought he was quiet during the game, then he had 7 or 8 goals, right? Like looking up at it, really hard to do that. But a credit to the season he's had.
Here's Poitras. Poitras feeds the cutter in Pfeiffer, a number of moves, and the highlight reel rolls again for Parker Pfeiffer.
We're going to have a nice angle at this, and one thing I thought was really nice here by Pfeiffer is right at the end, Origlieri's so good throwing his shoulders up, and he's going to fake short side, fake far side, then when he goes back to the short side, he gets it down. He gets the ball down by his feet. Really good cut here, turns the corner, gets right through, fake, and then he gets it down at the feet of Origlieri, gets it away from that big chest pad, and I think that's how you got to go on Origlieri, especially in tight.
Edwards has trouble with this along the boards. That did Ben McDonnell initially. McDonnell cuts back. Rushing back now, and
Pfeiffer's been a relative star all year. He's not like he's coming out of nowhere here scoring these goals, but you get the sense that any scoring outside of Haley and Poitras just makes this Whitby team so dangerous because those guys are going to get theirs.
Here's Haley. Kept to the outside by Colton Barnett that time, and now Knox will pick it up late in the shot clock. Gets the reset, and Not a clean pickup as he just batted it towards the crease of Origlieri.
Good hustle, though, by Knox there to make something out of nothing. Almost picked that thing up and dunked it right in the empty goal.
Marquis wants the ball on the near side, gets it. One man on him, got picked out of the way by Cam Sanderson, who goes after the ball and then got filled in on the crease.
Boy, whatever your standard is for when you got to pick up the ball and play it, if you're Whitby, you got to add a couple feet for it for the Marquis. He just hoses it.
Speaking of, how about Matthews?
Yeah, great call. This is just Matthews just rips this thing, and again, Whitby's just a little bit too passive. You got to get out, you got to play the ball. If you let these goal scorers step in and with their hands free and set their feet, it's going to be tough for you. And credit to Sanderson for going to the goal, taking a check, getting his team of possession back, and then we're going to see Matthews in a sec just step in and unload this thing. Just too much room. You got to get out. If your heels are on the dotted line, you're not really covering anybody. And Matthews says, all right, I'll take it.
Poitras to the outside as Whitby cuts in again. Down by 2 one more time are the Warriors. It's Haley. And you can see how Haley wearing 2 jerseys most of the night, one of his and one of his defenders. Soroketti goes through the crease.
Soroketti overthought that one. He was open. Just shoot it. You could step into the dotted line like he could there. Just let it rip. I think he was looking for Poitras. Good slow play by the Orangeville defense to talk him out of it. But if you're Soroketti, step in and rip that thing.
Deer's pass too hot to handle, for Liam Matthews. As it comes back to Kobe Hanser. Tristan Dempers, who picked up an assist on the most recent goal. Poitras has it outside. 4 points for Poitras already, in on all of Whitby's goals so far. Budway over the top, his shot hung on to right there in the left glove of Origlieri. Gets up and looks immediately down floor for Noah Millsap. Off the bench in true Orangeville fashion. Liam Matthews doesn't get a shot though. This is the second period play for the Hornets. Colton Marquis. Shot from Bucktooth. Caleb Martin went to his right as if he was making the save. Somehow that missed everything and bounced up into the screening. Low shot off the end boards from Parker Pfeiffer.
Orangeville's got 3 coming off the gate here.
Yeah, watch that front door as here comes the stream, and a nice job done by Jack Oldman to stop the ball carrier. Owen Ron right at the restraining line. Down to the crease, and Bucktooth tried the over the shoulder, didn't have possession. Now Bucktooth tries to shoot from a bad angle. In front, Sanderson, another boost. Come on! Liam Wright wants a stoppage as he's lost his glove on that stop. But my goodness, how pretty was that?
If you don't like that, you don't like junior lacrosse, man. Come on.
No, I love that. Don't worry.
What a save. I mean, what a series of saves.
What is it about that net down to our left? We saw Origlieri do it in game number 2. And now Caleb Martin in relief of Liam Wright, making the save of the game so far. Soroketti shot sails just past Origlieri.
Like the aggressiveness there from Soroketti. Reach your stick out and let it fly.
Elijah Edwards sidestepping his way in. Edwards to the far side, Matthews, and now Bucktooth. Spinning away, Marquis turns the corner, and lane opened up for the shot and took it off the left foot of Caleb Martin.
Yeah, Marquis might have been more open there than he realized. He could have walked that thing right across the goal. Bit of a busted coverage there for Whitby. He was wide open.
Marquis tried to shoot past the spot that Millsap vacated by falling, and ball will bounce here to Jake Darlison. Outside for Poitras. Pfeiffer, now Haley. Gets the screen. Pfeiffer cutting through and actually stopped there. Now Poitras took a hard bump on the far side from Jamie Hunt, who is a graduating junior player. Tristan Dempers takes the shot. Will be pushed ahead by Keaton Brown. Played most of his season in Junior B this year, but he is also a graduate, one of 4 on this Orangeville Northmen team tonight. Hoping to extend not just their season and their Minto Cup reign, but their careers here by at least one more game here tonight. Trey Deer cutting through the middle, number of moves before the shot. Gets in the stick of right and then just nonchalantly leans back on the crossbar as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
Maybe
not the most traditional saves here the last few minutes, but Wright has really held his team in it, and they've been able to keep Orangeville at 6 despite a really good run here by the Northmen.
I think I led you straight, partner. That is, of course, Caleb Martin, who came on in relief. As here's Soroketti. Another high shot from Soroketti over top of everything. And the rebound will bounce away to at the tail end of the shot clock. Bounces straight into the stick of Donnie Scott, who puts it in the back of the net in transition.
I was thinking when Orangeville picked up this ball, I was thinking, here we go again. It's been the story of this second period here, and really the story in this building for a long time. In the second period, the Northmen defense leads to offense. Just playing through the game, just playing hard, getting up the floor and taking the advantage. Just, tough on breakaways, and like we talked about at the start of the game, Orangeville needs to find ways to score, and they've gotten power play goals and transition goals, and that's going to be the recipe for them.
Look out here, bodies flying over in the vicinity of that Whitby bench, and too much from the Northmen defenders, so Whitby awarded the possession here. 8 minutes gone in the period, a 3-goal lead restored for Orangeville. Low shot from Haley. Origlieri will hang on and now has to deal with Poitras right in his face.
Got numbers again.
Up and over center. That was the first job that they had to deal with Liam McGraw. Him and Jeremy Searle, by the way, the other 2 graduating juniors here out of this Orangeville squad. Up for Colton Marquis. He'll turn the corner, shovel it to the crease, and Matthews nearly tapped it in. Very odd to say that Orangeville only has 4 graduating players. Normally a huge class comes out of the Northmen, and then a very good B squad follows up.
Yeah, and the headliner, too, is obviously Riglieri coming back. Such an advantage in this league to have an elite goaltender. This is going to be an Orangeville team that's going to be around for a long time. The question is, do they have enough to do it right now?
Well, we'll find out in about an hour and a half. As Soroketti from the far side, that'll be the first step, is get out of here with a victory to force game number 5 on Friday night. Could be in for a pair of game 5s with Toronto and Burlington. Their game number 4, unfortunately not streamed. No internet at Central Arena for game number 4 tomorrow. Colton Marquis across for Sanderson, and the shot from Matthews in the middle scores.
Tic-tac-toe here for Orangeville. This is as pretty as it gets. Sanderson's is going to run a pretty classic pick and roll here with Marquis. Come and set the pick. Come over it, and it's going to go Marquis to Sanderson and Matthews. Classic pick and roll, and then a great read here by Sanderson. Get it right out of his stick. Matthews is ready for it, and a nice finish.
The vision of Sanderson is unreal.
Wonder where he got that from. I mean, joking aside, to have the wherewithal to catch it in traffic, a shot that almost everyone in this league is going to shoot immediately after they get it, and find a passer or find a pass right away, and credit to Matthews for being ready for it.
Well, then Orangeville's gone cross-crease so many times. I was kind of shocked that found Matthews and right where he was, right in the doorstep. Bounce shot this time coming from Noah Millsap. bit more traditional, right straight as Whitby does their best Orangeville impression in transition out the front door. They'll get another chance too as the rebound bounces back down and into the stick of Jack Oldman.
Yeah, if you're Whitby, ironically, Orangeville's giving you the blueprint right now for how they want to play. They want to get the ball moving. They want to get it going cross crease and through the middle of the floor. And they got to get back to that. Orangeville's giving them a taste of their own medicine right now.
Cohen Jennings playing good defense there on Littlejohn, and Orangeville working the change. Cam Sanderson will save possession. Popping out that front door. Marquis all alone on the near side. Pick coming from Sanderson. Marquis will go back to him, and the bounce shot. He respects the apple, and it's 10-4.
Basically the same play here as the first one, or the last goal rather. Sanderson's going to be at the top, kick it down to Marquis, excuse me. Comes set the pick, classic pick and roll, and then doesn't even look to pass it, just buries it. And we called this last game, but if there's a prettier shot in lacrosse than that bouncer to the top corner, I'm not sure what it is. I'm glad our viewers had a good angle of that one as well. That was pretty.
Number
4 points for Cole Marquis now, as just to confuse us a little further, Liam Wright will get back into the game.
And you can see the entire attention of the Whitby bench.
Joel Watson is yelling at somebody down in the corner. Greg O'Connor trying to close the door there between the Orangeville fans and the glass as we wait for Origlieri to get back in the bench. And now finally Josh Hiltz is aware of that situation. Gives us a chance to update you on that series. It is 2-1 for the Beaches after their win in Pickering. Also, how about the Victoria Shamrocks advancing to the BC Finals against Langley? The winner of that, that's going to be a war out in BC for the chance to come east to the Minto Cup, either the Langley Thunder or Victoria Shamrocks. Colton Marquis sitting on a pair of goals is Marquis. That sidearm off the goaltender, and now down for Poitras. Another transition goal. Poitras has the hat trick.
I mean, just what the doctor ordered, right? That goaltending change is probably more about taking a timeout that without having to actually take a timeout, getting your guys fired up. And again, it's Poitras. He just comes up with big goals for this team when they need them. We've seen this a couple of times. I think what happens is he stays on the floor after the faceoff. So if they lose the faceoff, he's back there on defense. That's how they got the first one. That's how they got that one. If you're Orangeville, you got to find the leading scorer, leaking out on the possession. But that's a huge goal to stop the momentum and just get this thing a little bit closer for Whitby, who still have a lot of time. Whitby's a team that can really score. They're down 4 goals with 30 minutes almost left in this game. They got lots of time.
Well, we saw what they did in this building in game number 2. 3 of those in the first minute. Actually had 4 in about 1:10 with the crease violation. On the crease here for Anderson, whose shot saved by Origlieri.
Yeah, pretty good look, though, for Whitby. At least you get it going across the crease. You make Origlieri make a nice save. That's not a bad offense.
They credited Littlejohn with the assist on that last goal from Poitras. I thought it was Wallace's. Now Matthews will take another shot off the end boards.
Whitby's got to hustle this here.
Float the pass up for Ben Cromer. Pfeiffer gets it, and that shot bounces off the end boards. Nate Ruff was down floor. They go to Trey Deer out the front door, and Deer will score again.
This is a tough one for Whitby because Pfeiffer had a good look here on the other end, and one that you have to take. He's going to shoot this all day long, walking right into it. I know it's early in the shot clock, but that's a good look. And then they just caught in kind of a classic reverse transition. Nice play by Millsap to get the ball up, and then a pretty slick finish here by Deer. It gets the goaltender really thinking. Obviously, he's going to that far pipe, and steps back a little bit of a dip and dunk move there, back to the short side.
Yeah, warning to all junior teams and that enter this building. I don't care if that's A, B, or C. As here's Poitras again, you don't want to let Orangeville get momentum, and that's what they got right here. in this second period, now leading 10-5.
Yeah, that's a big save by Riglieri. Pot just changes it up, doesn't go with the twister, tries to jam it to the short side, which is actually, normally his far side. Good save by Riglieri to squeeze on the pipe.
Bucktooth tries a tap in from the near side, and that ends up bouncing in the far side and down floor in the stick of Kobe Hanser. Hanser and Trey Deer meet each other. What a stick check. Pat Gregoire pointed out that he likes to let his man get a step before that little wrap check. And now Marquis back for Deer, bouncing in the crease, and the glove saved the last second from Liam Wright.
That's awesome creativity and hustle there from Deer and Marquis.
Wide open look for Pfeiffer on the far side, and it was taken away quickly from Jamie Hunt. But now Whitby with it again. Poitras back for Pfeiffer. Bouncer there, Riglieri looking behind him, but the ball bouncing off to his left-hand side, where Elijah Edwards will cover up and gain possession.
Here we go again.
Bucktooth to the crease. This time it's Matthews. So the ball is scooted away. By the way, of those 4 graduating players, none of them play offense. This entire offensive unit potentially coming back next year for the Orangeville Northmen.
Most of these guys haven't even gone to school yet, too. A lot of them are going to U.S. colleges, which is...
Liam Matthews shot hit something on the way, I think, before coming in to right. As we've got 6 minutes left here in the second period. Down floor, Poitras. I don't know if I just don't feel it as much with the fans that we've got up here, but it doesn't seem to be as hot as it's been the last couple games.
Yeah, really cool outside, too, helping to bring the temperature down even slightly in here. And anything helps.
And no humidity. Poitras' pass ends up going all the way down floor for an over and back violation here for Orangeville.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's still 40 degrees in the opposing locker room, but up here it's okay.
Bucktooth will bring it down. Marquis. Bucktooth down in the corner for Trey Deer. Jeremy Searle sets the screen. Wallace knocked down Bucktooth as it comes back for Marquis. He can't find Cody Coulson through the middle, so he'll take the shot off the foot. It looked like of, Ben Cromer. And it'll be a fresh 30 seconds for the Orangeville Northmen.
Like I said, Whitby's got a lot of time here, but it's 5 goals right now with 5 minutes left. If you're Whitby, you're saying, let's get this to 2 or 3.
Ooh.
Boy, Marquis shoots that short side so well.
Marquis had Wright looking behind him. That was batted over the center line by a Whitby defender, so no over and back for Nate Ruff. The shot clock does tick down, however. 20 seconds left for Trey Deer, who's waiting for the offensive change. Pick comes from Matthews. Deer has Matthews outside, and a tie-up in front of the crease. A high stick will be called on Noah Millsap, and Jake Doolittle were tied up, and it looks like it's going to be Millsap that goes off for Orangeville here.
Yeah, Millsap's been a good role player for the Northmen here, but this is a really tough penalty to take. You're in as good of a spot as you could hope to be, especially after the first period, and now you take to borrow the old hockey adage, you'll see it right in front of the goal there. I think it happened a little bit before that, but to 200 feet from your own goal, you're taking a penalty, not ideal. Huge opportunity here for Whitby to get back, a little bit closer to getting back in this game.
Just the second power play of the game for Whitby. They did score on their first attempt. It was Budway that time. This time they'll look for Haley up top. Poitras off the shoulder of a Riglieri, and Soroketti extends possession.
Nice save by Riglieri. It looked like he had some space there. Pretty athletic move to shut the door.
Haley for Pfeiffer, now Poitras in the corner, Soroketti. Hard shot comes from Pfeiffer, and Riglieri makes the save. Coulson had to get rid of it, and he was close to getting pushed back in, and this one will bounce up and out of play.
Boy, it really feels like Whitby's had some good looks. The shooting just hasn't quite been up to their normal standards.
Couple shots there for Pfeiffer on the doorstep of Origlieri.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Origlieri too, right? Shooting isn't up to standard, or the goaltending play has been elite. Hard to tell sometimes, but wasn't sure if Origlieri got some help from the post there, if he just saved it, but a big stop off a good look from Pfeiffer.
Nate Ruff went for a run, got bumped off the ball. Over in the corner, so now Soroketti will bring it up over center. 30 seconds left here in the power play. Poitras to Haley, who will take top spot. Now cycling around for Pfeiffer. Far side for Budway. Haley gets the shot, and Origlieri with the save as it bounces up and out of play.
Yeah, oldest power play there in the book. Just a simple cycle play. Just trying to get some movement, something different that Orangeville hasn't seen yet.
Speaking of Brad Hutchcraft, $6. He'll get the inside joke. Poitras, low shot from Haley. Well, almost made it 12. Over and back, the call. And, I mean, looking at the score sheet, this has seemed like an even game just to sit here and watch it. If that clock was off, you wouldn't notice even that it's 10-5. But Orangeville pulling away a little bit here in the period. 5 is their largest lead. They called Littlejohn to the bench. It'll come back for Poitras in transition. Already with a pair. Look out, Trey Deer down floor. But Whitby also had a defender back to take away that chance. On the crease again after getting filled in and down and maybe hurt. Is that Poitras? Yes, it is. This will be numbers for Orangeville as Poitras gets up, heads off slowly.
Poitras got smoked after that play. But he's been all over the goal, too. So many good looks. Already has a hat trick. Just willing his team into keep him in the game.
Bouncing ball to the crease there.
Numbers here again for Whitby if they go.
Moments for Liam Wright. Ben Cromer. Cromer to the front door to Haley. Where's the ball? Origlieri shows it. Hashtag goalie swagger right there.
That was awesome.
Turn the left glove over.
Where's the ball?
Yeah, Noah found it.
That was almost like the old Patrick Wall hockey goalie, Robin. Yeah. And, where is it? Oh, it's in my glove.
Yeah. All he was missing was the wink. Marquis. Sanderson shoots. Right reaching behind him, and that ball stays underneath the pads as well.
Whitby's got numbers here again.
Let's just assume for the rest of the period Whitby's got numbers.
Yeah, I guess. And Orangeville's the same thing.
Shot there from Haley off the end boards. This one will bounce for over and back again, and quickly the bench of the Northmen calling for 2 players.
Whitby's got numbers, and Orangeville's got a lefty out the gate on a breakaway.
Yeah. Death and taxes are the only other 2 certainties in life. Update as we always do. Neither team took a timeout in that first period, so everybody's got their 2 in the bag. Littlejohn taking off the crease there.
Boy, another good look for Haley, though. Breakaways as good as you can get. Whitby's just had chances to get back in this game. They just haven't been able to bury them.
Elijah Edwards pulls this ball back down. Now gets a screen. Halfway through the shot clock, Edwards being chased back into the corner.
We'll see if Whitby's going to take a timeout here. Under 30 seconds. Expect them probably not to.
Matthews for Trey Deer. Bit of a weak shot that bounced through the crease. And 18 seconds.
Numbers again. No, don't want them.
No, pardon me. Whitby did take a timeout in that first period.
5 on 5 here. Goalie's still in.
So they only have 1 left. Riglieri will hang on with 4 seconds and no time for Rusty Kruger to call timeout, and they'll just ice the period, much to the delight of their fans as they're up 10-5 after 2 periods here in what is a must-win game for the Orangeville Northmen.
Yeah, when Orangeville really needed a period here to stay alive, they go right back to the well. That's worked for them forever. That's a classic Orangeville period in the second period. Getting up the floor, getting the lefties coming fast out of the gate, and slamming the door shut in the goal.
We showed you highlights from game number 2. Coming up in this intermission, stay with us for highlights from game number 3 as the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League playoffs roll on here, presented by the JVI Sports Network and powered by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario.
Hey guys, this is Paul Dawson from the Rochester Nighthawks.
And this is Dan Lomas of the New York Riptide. We've come together to create Back of the Bird, sports stories from the best spot they're told, the back of the plane. We're sitting down with NLLers across the league to chat about Junior A, Senior A, NLL, MLL, everything that goes along with it, on the floor, off the floor, and it's presented by Cottage Springs. So give us a listen wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, and I swear you'll love it.
Like and subscribe.
Peace. Swipe up.
8 minutes left here in the first period, and Haley will come off the bench, feeding it right back to Little John, who puts it in.
It's a big play from Little John.
Don't think I didn't notice what you did there. It was a big play from Little John. Warriors just decided to wait up the shot clock as Marquis had a word or two with Kyle Trotman. And Little John is on fire right now. That's his second.
Lucas Littlejohn, what did the back of the net do?
Golden Marquis extends possession here. Pass from Buckheat. Around a screen, and Marquis will score. Do not let number 24 get hot.
Orangeville bench not pleased with the call there whatsoever. Rusty Kruger and Kruger both showing their displeasure with the call, but nothing can be done there.
Except try and kill it off. They'll send 4 out. This is a lethal power play, and as I say that, Brock Haley proves the point. Whitby, Sorketti, Haley around a screen and a carbon copy of his most recent goal. You can give him the hat trick. Marquis to Coulson. Quick stick, Matthews just missed. Coulson gets run over while the ball is bouncing up and out of play. And Marquis, couple chops there between him and White, who are still going at each other. Back down to our left. Trey Deer runs in. I think, did he come off the bench? Look out here. As now Michael White is fired up, and they're going to let this one happen between Trey Deer and Michael White. Couple big rights from Deer. Swinging his right. White, might have connected. And now I think they'll stop. Pats in the back for both of those men. Ladies and gentlemen, we present you Whitby Warriors and Orangeville Northmen lacrosse.
Do they call it, I believe, game of
Popular term, but it definitely does exist, and some of the best officials are the best at it. Quattris over for Parker Piper. That is a 2-for-3 power play night for the Whitby Warriors.
Power play perfect right now, but Liam Matthews, of course, he's a guy that certainly needs to get going.
We have the perfect angle for the change of direction from Bucktooth on this shot. By the way, the third power play goal of the game for the Orangeville Northmen. Sorketti, Haley, Piper. Parker Piper for Haley. Sox take the pitchers. Brock Haley's got 6.
And I think it's a 6 count on the horn. A lot of mustard on that.
Here's Aiden Long. As he said last night, he's good for about a goal per game. Does not have one here yet in this one. Long out there still. Again, this offense working without Trey Deer, who dropped the gloves. And look out now. Everyone is rushing in to get in on the corner. Liam McGraw took off first. And we've been headed here pretty much since last night. Little John will drop the gloves here with McGraw, as well as big takedown there. And we might get ourselves another scrap between Aiden Long and Ryan Olin. The call-up, they're going to go take center stage here. Main event time inside Iroquois Park Sports Center. Cody Coulson having words down in the corner, so a couple more players head off. Olin just trying to get look out here in front of the net, a big takedown, and we might get a goalie scrap. Here we go, Liam Wright and Zach Richards. And Wright is down, and Richards got a few extra in.
Hey guys, this is Paul Dawson from the Rochester Nighthawks.
And this is Dan Lomas of the New York Riptide. We've come together to create Back of the Bird, sports stories from the best spot they're told, the back of the plane. We're sitting down with NLLers across the league to chat about Junior A, Senior A, NLL, MLL, everything that goes along with it, on the floor, off the floor, and it's presented by Cottage Springs. So give us a listen wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, and I swear you'll love it.
Like and subscribe.
Peace. Swipe up.
8 minutes left here in the first period, and Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Games of the Week are brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario and their hashtag Milk Up campaign. For more information, including recipes, visit new.milk.org. As we take a look back at game number 3, this was in the third period, and this was coming for quite some time. Started with Trey Deer and White, and scrap in the corner, and all bets were off from there, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, series lacrosse that you get in Ontario, it's got its ups and downs, and this is definitely something to expect. 3 games in a row in short succession, and this game matters a lot to these kids. You're going to see stuff like this.
Definitely a war of attrition through this series. We understand a few injuries that came out of that one as well. Thinking about Ryan Olin, who did not return to this series yet. out before that. Liam Stadnick and Liam Perro got hurt in the first period and limped off. Stadnick actually came in to serve a couple penalties and did the 1 foot hop all the way back over to the bench. So thinking of those guys too. And shout out Pat Gregoire, by the way, trying to get hashtag goalie swagger trending. I saw that. As we start period number 3 here, Liam right back in the net. He's going to be tested early by Aiden Long. And that shot ends up off the end boards.
Yeah, that's pretty much a must-save. Pretty much everything out is a must-save for right here. They got to really slam the doors shut defensively and hope their offense gets going.
Well, how about the offense from Littlejohn? Had a pair of goals in the last game and gets started again here in the third.
Yeah, if you're Whitby, that's exactly what you need. You need to save. Hope your goalie can settle in, get some confidence going in this third period, get a quick one. Now 19 and a half minutes, 4 goals. There's a lot of time here. I think the message for Whitby at that period is let's just see what happens, right? 5-goal deficit, let's just let it all on the line. It goes our way. We're the Minto Cup. If it doesn't, we'll go home and try our luck there. And if you're Orangeville, it's just hold on, hold on, hold on.
Rushing in after the face-off win. Look at this shot from Haley. Another one.
Wow,
and Origlieri saves it, but it rolls out the pad and in the back door. Brock Haley has scored in a number of ways, but I don't think any have looked like that this season.
Yeah, and I don't think he cares either. They don't ask how, right? So I a little bit of a broadcaster jinx out of Origlieri. I thought he saved that, but now it's definitely a dream start for Whitby. We got this thing to 3 goals now with 19 minutes and 22 seconds. They're actually putting Haley back here. Haley's going to come right behind the faceoff guy. Look for him to be sprinting through, trying to get up the floor.
I think Trey Deere saw the exact same thing and ran over to cut off the line, and now goes over for that loose ball. Whether he picked that up himself, this is a sophomore player in Trey Deere. Ball bouncing into the crease there of Origlieri. Elected not to play in, I believe it was Akwesasne last season. Trey Deere sticking with the Northmen both through the bubble season as well as the Survivors Cup. Trey Deere played in both of those.
Heads up play there by Whitby. Marquis just ran himself into a double team. I don't think he realized what he was, obviously didn't realize what he was doing. Smart play, although they turn it right back.
Well, again, this is a uncharacteristically young Northman team, and sometimes they remind you of it every once in a while.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of the message for Whitby too is, hey, we've been here before. We've been through a lot together. A lot of older players on this team. Let's use some of that here to come out with a victory.
Budway to the far side. The shot comes. I think that was from Anderson. Poitras did come back out after getting some attention from longtime Whitby trainer Kalen Frazier at the end of that second period. We saw him go hard into the end boards.
Yeah, glad to see him bounce back. He's really paid the price all series.
Well, and Whitby needs him as well to, with Haley and Pfeiffer being the 2 righties.
If you're Orangeville, I think that the question here is how much do you want to push it? They've had a lot of success in this game pushing the ball. How much do you want to run in transition?
Pfeiffer gets up after going up and over the defender, turns and tries to shoot around one this time. And it goes wide where it's corralled by Cohen Jennings, and may have ourselves a bit of a track meet here.
Look out,
John
John
to finish this
fly.
period. Trying to do that to get around the screen of Oldman. And Oldman will bring it down after the shot was saved by Origlieri.
Frantic start here from Orangeville. Just careless turnovers, running themselves into the corner, into double teams for no reason.
Frantic start from both sides. Poitras kind of surprised Cody Coulson. Not sure how that wasn't a hold.
Yeah, that's Poitras' his move too. I mentioned earlier, saw it firsthand with Loyola this year. He's so slick in the goal line area.
3.5 minutes have gone here in a 3-goal deficit. Trey Deere takes it out, tries to drag it through on the crease, and everything in the vicinity of the goaltenders here.
One of the Whitby
caution.
One of the Whitby fans was yelling, "Get the ball!" I like that one. That's good. That's some good feedback.
Here's Haley, long shot. Commented a few games ago how the ball always finds its way into the pad of Origlieri. That's twice back to back where it's kind of jostled around there on that left leg. One of them ending up behind him.
Yeah, he's making it look easy, Origlieri, but Haley probably wants to put a better shot than that. That's a good look for him and one that he's scored a lot this year.
Millsap to Marquis. Millsap will now set the pick for Marquis. Ball comes back to Millsap in the shot, and save made by Liam Wright. Huge hit there, knocks the stick out of the hands of Noah Millsap, but Matthews will get it back to Colton Marquis. You can see the respect that Whitby's giving that outside shot from Marquis now after a pair of goals went in early on.
Whitby's going to be on here.
Yes, they are, with Littlejohn. Likes to shoot when he's coming down and tries it, but Origlieri makes the save off the right shoulder.
I love the defense for Whitby. It's not passive anymore. They're just going. They're going. They're going. They're getting out on the ball. They're a big athletic defense, and they're using that to their strength right now. They're playing loose, and this is a good recipe for them.
We'll see if they can turn it into offense back the other way. Here's Anderson. Now Littlejohn. He'll flip back to Knox, who's immediately driven into there by Donnie Scott. Anderson back near center to Knox. Shot there from Littlejohn, hit the defender and went wide. So now Donnie Scott will, I was going to say push transition, but looks like he's waiting for Cam Sanderson to get in position.
Another good example, getting out and playing the ball.
Sanderson behind the back, and Ben McDonnell steps up. And another play that's just kind of nonchalant and maybe a little bit rushed.
Jake Doolittle on Whitby there, just forcing a turnover with effort and ball pressure.
Here's Pfeiffer from the top of the fan. Ball bouncing towards Budway. Liam Matthews down there taking a defensive shift. Gets tripped up trying to beat the double team, and will get an interference call. Rusty Kruger, I think, making his case for a tripping call as opposed to the minor interference, but
I think that's actually a good call there by the officials.
6 minutes gone. Here's Bucktooth up top. Sanderson met by a defender just as the ball arrived. He'll get it back after a bounce off the end boards, and then gets drilled about 6 feet into Wright and the net. And Wright is down and maybe hurt here. Yeah, Wright's having an issue.
Looks like maybe his shoe or his it looks like he's going to stay in the game.
We saw him go get that pad taped up earlier on in the period. I believe it was the first. Went off and got work done, so.
Sanderson went for a little John Grant Jr. one-handed behind the back there and almost got it to go.
That would have ripped the roof off this place.
Oh.
Pfeiffer to Haley. That one bounces away, and Aiden Long, if there's a loose ball, Aiden Long will be in the vicinity of it. Here he is again, but that time Nate Ruff unable to find him.
3 caught deep here for Orangeville.
McDonnell, cross center, and Whitby throw it away, but throw it right to Poitras. On the doorstep, scores, because of course he does.
This has just been a wacky period. Orangeville has not found a flow offensively at all. They get 3 guys on the ball here. Whitby goes the other way, throws a terrible pass, goes not even close. Orangeville misplays it, and Poitras scores at least his 3rd goal on a breakaway or close to it. Again, bad timing on the one when you misplay the ball. You don't want Adam Poitras, Whitby's best player tonight, to be on the other side of you. I think if you're Rusty, something I think about sometimes when I'm playing, if you're Coach Rusty Kruger, the message is stop doing weird stuff. Stop doing stuff that we don't normally do. We're running into double teams for no reason. We're turning the ball away. We're going one-handed passes. Stop doing weird stuff. Just do what we always do. Get the ball deep, play defense. And they're still up 2 goals with the best goalie in the league, probably. in the goal. And if you're Whitby, you're saying, hey, some sort of luck is on our side right now. Let's keep it going.
Well, coming off a period that is just so trademark Northman in Tony Rose Arena, too. And now just very uncharacteristic play, which causes Rusty Kruger and his staff to burn their third period timeout here. That was a charged timeout to Orangeville as they used it to wipe down both creases and a couple other spots on the floor. But I think Rusty Kruger was calling timeout, was the signal from Josh Hiltz.
Yeah, I think that shows some confidence in Rusty, too, in his defense, thinking we might not need it at the end of the game. If we can start playing better, we can slam the door shut here.
Haley will play this off the window. Little John in front of him to set the screen. Pfeiffer does the same. And now, as does Tristan Dempers up top. Shot from Haley off the end boards. Haley just that one goal that snuck in off the pad of Origlieri. Otherwise, 1 point tonight, just an assist.
Yeah, good pick there by Dempers, but I think he should have checked his guy and got off it. I think he was the open guy.
Marquis, Matthews, Trey Deer. Pushed outside, back for Marquis now. Searle causing all kinds of trouble in the middle, and that might have hit off his bucket as the shot came through. Little John will be the beneficiary who gets the rebound.
It feels like, Maddie, the whole arena here, the temperature's been turned up a little bit in this third period, and you could definitely start to sense some momentum here, starting with even the fans for Whitby.
Knox low shot, and we'll have Origlieri hang on to it. And not just the, heat temperature, but tension, as that's an 8-second count that didn't get over center. Another ball that's passed away. Deer going after Budway. Gets a rise out of the fans on our right-hand side.
I love Budway's game. Not the biggest guy, but just plays hard, super skilled. One of the reasons why this Whitby offense is so dangerous.
Here he is, and nearly on cue, off the shoulder of Origlieri.
I might have quit broadcasting if that went in. That might have been it for me.
No, please don't. We've enjoyed having you and Pat Gregoire the last couple games up here in the booth. I know the folks at home have enjoyed hearing both of your expertise as well. Bucktooth, that shot through traffic. That hit right off Carter's shot, and we'll get the too many men call off the Whitby bench, I believe.
Yeah, Whitby doesn't like the call. Obviously, no surprise there. We'll see. Orangeville's power play has obviously been pretty good here. Marquis has had at least one or two, I believe, on the power play. Got to think the message is for Whitby, somebody other than Marquis get out and play the ball. I love how aggressive they've been defensively. Aggressiveness can hurt you sometimes on the penalty kill, but maybe expect them to keep that mantra going here.
Colton Marquis has both of the power play goals. Orangeville 2 for 2 tonight. So yes, I would agree with you. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Marquis for Matthews. Ducking out of the way was right as that one rockets back down the floor.
Matthews going to want that one back. That's as clean of a look as you can get.
Whitby starting with this in the corner and in the stick of Brock Haley. You got the big boys out there. Haley, Pfeiffer, Soroketti, and Tristan Dempers, the 4 offensive penalty killers. And so far it's just been Haley standing at the outside boards. Now a pick comes. Haley over the top. Low shot. Origlieri down to make the save, and he'll pull it back into his crease. To secure possession here for Orangeville as we near the halfway mark of this third period. 2-goal lead for the Northmen. Hidden ball play with Marquis and Deer.
Completely different look here again for Orangeville.
Sanderson out of the corner to Deer on the crease, and it works. Trey Deer wants the social media post.
Yeah, this is a tough break for Whitby. They felt like they had as much momentum as they could have reasonably expected to have. Tough penalty, and Orangeville makes them pay. A pretty classic play here. You see a lot of teams run this. A double seal for Matthews to come through the middle, and then Deer just does a nice job of getting right through to the backside, and a good finish. Liam Wright, the goaltender, for Whitby, kind of over-slid there. Slid a bit too far and let Trey Deer throw it back to the far side.
Jack Oldman winning another face-off back for Ben McDonnell this time.
Tough break, like I said, for Whitby. You just got to keep fighting through it. You still got time.
Haley on the crease. Nice cut, but
boy, Riglieri's been so good on those tight plays inside with Haley. Just hasn't been able to figure him out.
yes. Just about to say that Haley snake bit tonight. But from long range, Little John is not.
Little John has come out with some mojo here in the third period. Saw a lot of Haley and Poitras early in the game, but he's coming out flying here in the third, looking to score. And yeah, our viewers are going to have a good view at this. He just comes over a pick to the top, and he's way out, but he just rips this thing. I don't think Riglieri saw it as a bit of a screen, but man, what a shot from way out.
They credit it to Brock Haley as if he needs to be given any more goals.
Yeah.
But definitely Little John, second of the game. And how about 4 in the last 2? Little John up top here for Knox.
One lefty here, so expect the isolation.
Outside for Poitras. Riley Knox gets the shot from the right side. And Riglieri hung on for the save. Keaton Brown nearly overran the ball again. Now lowers his shoulder into Little John. Brown still with it. Has a man in the crease, and it's Marquis who runs through trying to play the ball. And possession will go back to Whitby.
Orangeville is doing everything except for playing offense here.
Soroketti over the top. Waits, now fires off the end boards. That'll be cleanly snagged by Nate Ruff, who runs up and over center. Ruff has a man with him. Ruff is going to take it to the net. Someone lost their stick in the process of Liam Wright making that save.
What a play by Ruff. He never even thought about slowing that thing down. He was going all the way. Pretty sick little face dodge move, too, and a nice save by Whitby. You know, they need every save here, pretty much.
Pfeiffer wanted that over the top. The shot was taken from the far side from Poitras, who ends up on his backside again. Rough night for number 51, and that's going to get the Orangeville Minor Lacrosse Association back out there with their towels.
Yeah, they're taking the Orangeville's taking the towel by committee approach this year. Instead of one, you know, they couldn't pay the big salaries, so they bring in 4 cheaper options.
There you go.
Do it by committee.
A reminder that the Minto Cup is in Brampton at the CAA Center this year, August the 22nd to 29th. Visit themintocup.com. There's a link right there where you can buy your tickets, including the $100 full tournament pass that gets you access to everything, including the final series, however long that goes. As we're excited to get there at the end of August. Marquis tried to go cross crease there for Bucktooth, and it's Marquis picking it up again, went around the back.
Podger's going to shoot this thing for sure. Oh, what do I know?
Why not? You've been right every other time tonight.
What do I know?
Riley Knox. Well, a lot more than me, and then we already established that Sean Williams knows a lot more than both of us.
Right.
So hierarchy here. We're working it out as this game goes on. Riley Knox back for Pfeiffer. He ducks past a check and then got hauled down and then hit from the back as he was falling. Meanwhile, Riglieri hangs on for a save. Pfeiffer looks to be okay. That was awkward from various angles.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's had some good looks here.
Oh, look out. Liam Matthews diving right at that center line. That doesn't exist.
Rusty Kruger's having a tough time right now on the Orangeville bench. He's living.
Well, he's already used the timeout that I was wondering if he was going to take just before he did. Trey Deer, one-handle pickup, dealing with a defender as well. This is going to be pretty from Deer over the shoulder.
Close to a Happy Meal, no cigar though.
You can see the wheels turning as he picked up that ball. Riley Knox to the outside. Soroketti. Cross for Haley. A lot of movement in front of Riglieri. Haley takes the shot and ball just sits on a dime right in front of Origlieri after he made the save.
Whitby's offense, though, this whole third period, the whole team really, but their offense as well has played with good pace. They're flying around. They're getting good looks. That's a shot that doesn't look like a great shot, but Haley's gone piping in with those all year.
Coming off a day off, so a lot of time to rest and rehydrate and recover after a pair of games back-to-back. They'll get another day off if Game 5 is required. Here's Searle through the crease of Liam Wright, and he's getting the death stare from the Whitby netminder who thought that was a little too tight.
Jamie Searle has a nose for finding the crease. Poor guy.
Again, Searle, one of 4 graduating juniors on this Northman team. Poitras goes up top. Shot there from Darlison. I know you've been impressed by him. So was Pat Gregoire, the games that he did. Darlison. Liam McGraw gets it again.
Yeah, guys like that are so valuable this time of year, who can really play on both sides of the floor.
One-handed pickup, then the one-handed pass there to Sanderson, who goes back and gets the ball, trying to dive to avoid the crease, or jump rather. Rolls off the stick of Deere and into right. Little John across center. Sean Williams yelling at his troops to get down the floor. Little John does just that, gets his shot away, and Origlieri will make the save in the crease.
Yeah, another good look, though, for Little John. He's been the Warriors' best player here in the third period. I mentioned earlier it's hard to tell what Sean Williams is saying to his team. Pretty easy now. He's saying, go, go, go. Get up the floor.
Yes.
Go make a play.
Liam Matthews back to center. Millsap, far side Marquis. I think that was a pass intended for Aiden Long rather than a shot. Looked like his same release, however. But it did go wide and now down the floor for Pfeiffer. Parker Pfeiffer cuts through and the triangle collapses on him, and that one may have hurt Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Pfeiffer paying the price and he's not happy about it. I don't really blame him. He's gotten caught making the extra move a few times, though. If I'm him, I'm just coming to the dotted line and letting that thing fly.
That's 2 trips to the crease where Pfeiffer's paid for it. Deere now trying to shoot through the defender. Went low on right, and the stick was there to make the save. Nearing 4 minutes left in regulation of a 2-0 game.
Pretty close over back there.
2-goal lead, pardon me. 11-9 is your score. Brock Haley to the outside. Origlieri goes off to his right. And will make the save as Haley ran himself out of space. Cohen Jennings. Back for Marquis. Trey Deere. In the corner for Searle. Liam Matthews. Marquis. Pick set from Coulson. And the pass ends up off the glass. Carter Schott had thoughts of chasing that one all the way down the floor. But he'll leave for Poitras and this Whitby offense. Quick shot from Pfeiffer. Save made Origlieri, and now Nate Ruff on his horse again.
Yeah, I like that look better from Pfeiffer, just letting it go.
Ruff will take the shot. Rebound to Long. How'd that stay out? Quick change off the bench. Whitby wants too many. I think they were good as there was a player that hopped right on.
Yeah, they were good. Smart play. Andrew Suter called it. Got a guy out the back door for Orangeville.
Sanderson, far side for Millsap. Halfway through the Orangeville shot clock. Jamison Bucktooth gets it back. Bucktooth out of the corner. Hard on him is Darlison. Bucktooth, a big chop. Knocks it free. That was Kobe Hanser. And Bucktooth nearly ended up with a chance there that bounced in the crease of Liam Wright.
A lot of room here for Little John. He's been aggressive in these situations.
We are on hat-trick watch for Lucas Littlejohn. I'll elect to go to Poitras instead. Low shot from Soroketti. Origlieri thought he had it. It bounced between the pads, and Donnie Scott was there to save possession.
Origlieri's been stellar here. Whitby's had some pretty good looks. Quick possessions, but good looks.
Since that timeout, it seems like Orangeville has settled right down. Still not as crisp as We've seen them in the past, but Trey Deer a shot.
Certainly defensively, it's been better, though. Been better, and give your goalie a chance to reset, too.
2 minutes to go. Liam Wright looking at the bench, not getting the call yet, although he is kind of wandering over in that direction. Pfeiffer brings it down.
He's coming now, 6 on 5 here.
Liam Wright is going. Pfeiffer leaves. The extra man is Haley. Poitras across here. The shot from Littlejohn is in. A 7-point night for Adam Poitras, who picks up the assist on Littlejohn's hat trick.
Yeah, again, Littlejohn just came out in the third period and said, you know what? I'm gonna do this for Whitby here. Gets another one. That's a third period hat trick, I believe, for Littlejohn. Good pass across the middle, good spacing on the 6 on 5. Now, I was thinking a bit before this, if you're Whitby, you just got to get it to 1 goal, because now you can, you know, anything can happen at the end of the game, but you got to get it to 1. So a minute 40 left. Whitby's got lots of time here.
And remember, Orangeville does not have a timeout. They took it earlier on in this period.
Interesting. We'll see Whitby take their timeout here with a minute and a half left.
Okay, I was just about to say Whitby does have one, but this will be their last of the game.
I'm curious here if Whitby's going to go 5 on 5 or 6 on 5. If it's me, I'd probably go 5 on 5. Just take your chances with 2 possessions. But if you think you're going to have trouble scoring a Wrigley area, you got to take your, you got to get one. Then maybe you go 6 on 5 too. Again, Sean Williams knows a lot more about lacrosse than me and basically everybody else on the planet. So he knows best. But interesting to see what Whitby does here.
Well, I also think it depends whether you think you can get an open shot.
Right.
Do you send a bigger body? They put Tristan Dempers out there a few times to kind of open some space for the big boys.
Yeah.
And if you think that you're having trouble getting those clean looks, and it looks like it is.
6 on 5, yeah.
Yeah, Dempers and Soroketti, Haley, Littlejohn, Pfeiffer, and Poitras.
Same thing. Another interesting question is, do you drop something for Haley, your guy all year, or do you go to Littlejohn, who's got the hot hand right now? Interesting decisions here for Whitby.
It's going to be Haley that starts it as the Let Go Whitby chant starts to our right. And
this place is loud.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed. Poitras tried the quick stick for Budway. Intercepted. They run back to the bench. Here comes Wright. Nate Ruff trying to catch up. Hits a double team on his way. The ball's down. Pushed out to the outside. Nate Ruff, a nifty move to get there first, but he fell. Now a big hit there from Budway. And Orangeville goes back over.
You can barely even hear the whistles in here right now.
Minute 5 seconds to go. Liam Wright on his horse trying to get back to the bench.
6 on 5 again here for Whitby. They caught a big break there, getting their goalie back in the goal.
Pfeiffer. Now Littlejohn. And Poitras. They put it down in the corner. Soroketti. Here's the shot from Littlejohn. As that was happening, they raced back to get Liam Wright off. He's standing at the doorway. They'll remain 6 on 5. 40 seconds left to go. Here's Littlejohn and Poitras. Cross for Haley. Look out. Saved by Wrigley. Second one from a Wrigley for the second straight game here. But extended possession as Poitras picks it up.
20 seconds left for Whitby. No going back. You got to pressure the ball if they turn it over.
Littlejohn, Pfeiffer, Poitras. Bouncing ball. Keep it away from center. Poitras does. Here's Pfeiffer. Far side. Soroketti tripped up. Donnie Scott, the big check. And the ball pops free. It's in the stick of Liam McGraw. Up and over center. Nate Ruff will score! Next stop, Game 5. Whitby, Friday night.
I'm just going to let the crowd do the talking here.
Yeah, no kidding. No one can hear us anyways. What an environment this entire series has been, and it seems only natural that we'd go the distance.
2 great looks for the kid who had the best goal-scoring season. Basically, in the last 30 years, and Chris Riglieri's up to the task. When his team needed it, he was there.
The horn has gone, although no one can hear it, as Tony Rosarita and indeed the entire town of Orangeville is losing their mind because the Northmen are still alive.
You know, Matty, I was lucky enough to play on an Orangeville team that won the Ontario Championship. I've never been in this building this loud. Like, this is awesome. Just so awesome. So grateful to be a part of the call with you, Matty. What a game. And going to Game 5, nothing better. Elimination game for both teams. Everything's on the line.
Elimination game tomorrow night as well. It'll be in Burlington between Toronto Beaches, who have a 2-1 lead against the Chiefs. The only way to see that game is to get yourself to Central Arena, and then be sure you're subscribed here, because Friday night it is Game 5, and we will have this one from Iroquois Park in Whitby. Start time 8 o'clock. You see it on your screen. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss it if you can't get to Whitby.
Yeah, there's no words to say.
Nothing to say. Man,
no words
oh man.
to say.
What?
Man, I don't want to keep overusing the phrase, but if you don't like that, then you don't like Junior A lacrosse. That's everything you could ask for in a Junior A game. Credit to the kids for leaving everything they got on the floor. And Whitby not rolling over either, right? They could have come in, packed it up after the second period and said, hey, we'll get them at home. They come on. Little John gives them 3. They get a couple lucky ones off the face-off, and they dropped some good plays at the end on the 6-on-5. Just couldn't get past one, or couldn't get one past, Riglieri. And it's got a little bit of the feel of, we were talking about it a couple times, that our Brampton Mimico series a few years ago. It's kind of what this has the feel of. Same deal, where the winner of this semifinal will go to the Minto Cup. And Game 5 of that series was, I mean, in my perspective, it was awesome, but a lot of people say it was awesome.
It was some of the best lacrosse I've ever seen. This is getting there, and both games in this building have been close, and they've been electric atmospheres. The 2 games that we played back at Whitby's kind of taken over. So now it's time for Orangeville to kind of collect themselves before we get there on Friday. Jonathan, you can keep your Happy Meal. We're getting the full 3-4 course, all-you-can-eat buffet from this series right now. And again, it concludes on Friday night, 8 p.m. from Iroquois Park in Whitby. We will have that game for you here on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel. For my partner, Jonathan Donville, our director, Rachel Wolf, and our producer, Gary Morrison, the JVI Sports Network, and the rest of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, I'm Matthew Carrick. Have yourself a great night. Hope you can recover in time to join us on Friday night, because it's going to be a great Game 5.